Today, I want to show you a great technique for making really cool costume bracers that are bendable and flexible like this. Which is super cool because that means you don't necessarily need buckles on the inside or to use expensive thermoplastics to get something that'll hold its shape. And the great thing is it's a lot more adaptable that way because say for this one's actually bigger than it should be for my arm, but I can overlap those edges, jam my arm in there, and it still works, right? Like it's overlapped, but it still works. I can still fight evil just as easily. But then, say I'm done fighting evil in the summer and I want to fight evil in the winter, and I have to wear maybe a jacket, then I can just slap on my jacket. I don't need to buy a new bracer, throw on my bracer, and it fits over top of the jacket, right? And then I can go fight crime in the winter. I got the basic idea from these little bendy men of my sons. There's a flexible wire inside a plasticky outer coating so that when you bend them, the wire holds its shape and the man does something. So the main ingredient for a bendy bracer is some aluminum sheet that's not too thick and not too thin. I was able to find some pretty good aluminum in these serving trays from a thrift store. They're just disposable trays. They're still thin, but they're not super thin like the trays that I found at the dollar store. I was able to make a bracer out of this stuff, but I needed twice as many layers for the same bracery goodness. So one more option is aluminum flashing from the hardware store. This is for roofs. Works amazing. It's nice and flat to start out with. Quick and easy, but you're gonna end up paying a lot more for it. This was 20 bucks for a 10-foot roll. So if you're making lots of bracers, it'd be worth it. But if you just wanna make one or two, might not be. You might have one of these in your cupboard or your mom's cupboard and you can just grab it and then it's free. All right, so let's make some bendy bracers. Grab your aluminum tray and cut off the rim around the edge. Make sure to wear some gloves to protect your hands from the sharp metal. I used a wooden dowel to start flattening out some of the creases and ridges in the tray. When I was tired of the wooden dowel, I grabbed a hammer and hammered it all over the place. Back to the dowel. Some more hammering. And I finished it off with a different hammer, which left me with a pretty flat sheet of aluminum, which I then folded in half and unfolded. I then covered the whole inside surface with water-based contact cement. Once the contact cement had dried, I folded it over and hammered it thoroughly with a hammer to ensure that the glue would bond well. Trace my bracer pattern and cut it out with my scissors. The bump at the top would make the next step trickier, so I just cut it right off. Right now, the metal has really sharp edges, so in order to make it safe to wear, they need to be folded over. I folded approximately 6 millimeters around each edge. This also has the benefit of giving the bracer a bit more strength. Once one edge was folded over, I hammered it down as flat as possible and then repeated the process on the other 3 edges. I trimmed the corners nice and round. I then cut 2 sheets of 2mm foam according to my original bracer pattern, spread contact cement on both sides of the aluminum and on one side of each of the foam pieces. Wait for the glue to dry and then make a foam aluminum bracer sandwich, trying to get the edges to line up as perfect as possible. Give it a smack down with the hammer. Then all I had to do was add my details and gently bend it into its final shape. Give it a paint, and I am done. So there you go, bendy bracers. I really like how they look, and they make me feel really strong, like maybe like I could punch through a concrete wall or something. Don't know if that would work, and I probably won't try. So anyways, why don't you go and make your own set of bendy bracers right now? And if you're not doing that, why not like, subscribe, comment, share, buy me a pizza. I don't actually have a pattern made for these right now because I just wanted to do this video and show you the technique. If you want a bracer pattern, which is a really quite a simple pattern, let me know. I could maybe whip something up but for the most part, it's just kind of like this. So, you know, cut out a piece of paper, see if it fits, and then go for it. See ya.